Today, I'm going to do a little bit of myth busting where we're going to look at what cardiovascular exercise or endurance type exercise does for weight loss, or more to the point that it doesn't really do weight loss or fat loss very well. Hi, my name is John Jaquish. I am a doctor of biomedical engineering. I frequently comment on nutrition, exercise, sports physiology, professional athletes, and all sorts of stuff relating to human performance. Today, I'm going to do a little bit of myth busting where we're going to look at what cardiovascular exercise or endurance type exercise does for weight loss, or more to the point that it doesn't really do weight loss or fat loss very well. Oversimplification is another word for wrong. So I want to be thorough enough where I'm not wrong. So I won't just say like cardio sucks for trying to drop body fat, because that's not entirely true, but there's a lot of things going on when you give your body different signals that you need to be aware of. So when you do endurance type exercise, it's stress, and your body tends to, especially if you do sustained, what's called like target heart rate. So you elevate your heart rate and you sustain that for more than 20 minutes. A couple things happen is you're reducing your growth hormone, suppressing it, and you're increasing cortisol. Cortisol and growth hormone tend to be inversely related. So, and like if you start to sprint as opposed to, or do weight training, growth hormone goes up, cortisol goes down. Except while you're doing the exercise, because any type of stress is going to slightly elevate cortisol. Cortisol goes up when you get out of bed in the morning also. So I want to also be clear that cortisol is not like a bad hormone. There's no such thing as a bad word. But you want to trigger hormonal events in the body that are associated with the type of development that you want. The problem is you might get development that you don't want. So let me give you an example. When you're doing endurance type exercise, and you see a lot of women do this, where they'll spend hours on a treadmill and like over the course of a week, like let's say they're doing half an hour a day, 7 days a week or something like that. They're chronically upregulating cortisol to a high level, and it stays there for 6 or 7 hours after you do endurance type exercise. Well, that keeps your growth hormone low, and we need to look at what cortisol does. So cortisol preserves body fat. I really want that to sink in. Cortisol, when secreted in a cardiovascular endurance type training environment, it keeps cortisol high for extended periods of time. So like getting out of bed, yeah, your cortisol goes up, but it goes back down in 20 minutes. This will keep cortisol high for 6 to 7 hours. And of course, if you do your cardio every day, which most people do, because they want the added effect, you think they're burning calories. And the problem is your hormones are changing so that, yeah, you're burning calories, but you're preserving the body fat. And what you end up sacrificing is muscle mass. So you're shrinking muscle and protecting your body fat when doing these. So you'd call this type of athlete skinny fat. So they lost muscle, so they're thinner, yet they still kept all the body fat. So like this is why when you look at marathon runners, they still look sort of soft, flabby, a lot of cottage cheese on the thighs. And it's sort of like, oh, they're athletes. How come this is happening? Well, you have to look at how you're engaging the body and the signals that are being given to the central nervous system. So when you're training to be an endurance athlete, let's just imagine you want to be a marathon runner. You're giving the body a set of signals by running marathons, your long extended runs. Your central nervous system is trying to make you better at that, because that's the signal you're getting. So it wants to get rid of muscle because it wants to make you more efficient. So how do you go long distances with a relatively small amount of energy that your body can process. So shrinking the NG is the signal you're giving it. So getting rid of muscle. So you're going to burn less energy by having a smaller engine. So like if you look at an economy car, they don't put V12s in economy cars for a reason. So small engine. Also, increased storage of body fat. If you're going to go great distances, you want to actually store more body fat because that's your fuel for extended periods of time. Fat storage goes up. So I want you to really see that by doing this type of exercise, it's not like your body's sabotaging you. It's doing exactly what you're showing it should do based on your activity. So all of this is basically going to bring you to a situation where you're weaker and fatter, and there's also negative bone density implications. So your bone density goes down, which is meant to sort of shrink the weight of your frame so that you can go greater distances. It all makes sense when you look at the signals you're giving your central nervous system. This is all stuff you don't want to do if you want to be lean and strong looking. So instead, give the body the signals to be lean and strongly. So when you exercise, it's got to be high intensity. It's got to be, you want to recruit as much muscle as possible. You want to put the most load through the bone mass so that the bone mass is preserved or even amplified in strength. That's what my first book was all about. So in doing that and considering the musculature, what do you want? What signal do you want to give the musculature? Well, you want to give the signal that there's not enough musculature, which is why you always want to train to momentary muscular fatigue, and you want to compound that multiple times so that the body say, we don't have enough muscle. So cortisol is going to go down, growth hormone is going to go up. Growth hormone is not an anabolic hormone, by the way. People are very confused. It is, on that subject, it is an anti-catabolic hormone, though. So that means if you're eating a little bit less or eating a little bit less fat, higher protein, so you're doing like a protein-sparing modified fast. I'll do another video on that. Okay, that's so boring. But when looking at what nutrients you're giving the body, that all factors into the same equation. You want to be giving the body what it needs to build the muscle muscle and store little to nothing with body fat. So your body has no mechanism to store protein as body fat. Never forget that. So like the amount of protein you can eat and stay lean is theoretically limitless. However, in nature, protein comes with fats. And fats do cause you to store body fat, provided you're eating it at a certain level. So people have followed me for a while. I don't like the calorie argument because counting calories and looking at calories imagines that you are a furnace that burns things. And you're not. You're an organism. The reason I still am saying calories is because we don't have a better system of measurement yet. Though Professor Barquet, who you should also follow, is working on such a question. Now, when it comes to choosing the activities that you do to be as lean and as strong as possible, you really just need to focus on strength training, and you need to accept the fact that what your body fat is going to be is so much more determined by your nutrition than any type of activity. So you want to be anabolic, you want to be stimulating your musculature as much as possible, because the more muscle mass you have, the more of an engine you have that's constantly running, even while you're sleeping, to get rid of that excess energy. Now, from the other side, you want to be giving the body the things that it can turn into muscle and not the things that it can turn into fat. So you want to have moderate to low fats. You want to have super low carbohydrates, and you will adapt to low carbohydrate nutrition. You just experimented with that and you feel like you have low energy. You do have low energy, but you'll adapt. So it takes about 3 weeks to get used to that. But I just want to make sure that everybody walks away from this video with an understanding that expended steady state cardio is probably one of the worst ways to target body fat and lose body fat.
If this video helped you, I want you to subscribe and follow. I'm going to put out videos on a regular basis I think they're gonna help a whole lot of people, especially if you're one of those people that doesn't just instantly grow from lifting regular weights. We've got the answer for you.